everybody. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna make a start now on make up a bit of a brace now, just to come up the sides of the doorpost, just to retain a position for that post, and then the same on the other side. So yeah, I'm gonna get some steel and work a bit of a plan out for that now. So what I've done there is cut some plates off there. I'm gonna weld them on the bottom of there now, and then I'm going to drill through so I can bolt it to that crossbar, just so I can get them off out of the way. I want to slide something under the car, like I want to get it on the ramp and lift it off. Be a bit of a pain with these sticking up in the way. So. Okay then, I've made this post up. It's been a right pain in the arse, to be fair, getting it something like, I mean, ideally I think it needs weld into that cross bar to take out any discrepancy once them bolts are tightened up, but I've just been sort of getting it so as it's all nice and square with the level and what have you. Obviously I've welded some weld nuts onto the back of it just to get these M10 bars in, so it'll give me some reference of where the pillar is here, won't it? I mean, I can't take too much credence from this side because this post's quite bent. It's actually bent in here. There was some spaces on the door, but nevertheless, it gives me the positioning, you know, where the door hinges go. So it should enable me to be able to remove that post, I hope, and get it back something like. With the other side bolted up, so when this side's bolted up and level and whatnot, I can take some measurements from these points, I think, and then I should be able to, you know, to get the other side something like. So I think that's a bit of a success. We'll see when we get closer to the point of doing this post, which I think, in all fairness, I'm actually going to do next. I think I'm going to try and sort these two front posts out, and potentially into the sills and whatnot before the floor comes out. That probably would be a decent idea, and it'll give me a little bit of a taste of what's to come. So I think I've got enough done on this bar now to be able to safely take that out of the way without having a bit of any risk of sort of it not being right when it goes back together. I guess it's going to be a case of putting the post in and stuff, getting that right, and then getting the door out and putting the door back on it and making sure we've got a door that shuts back into the side of it. And then I could probably do something similar on the other side, can't I? So that's where we're at. Hope you're enjoying it. It's yeah, it's been making me brain hurt a little bit, getting all this square and level. It's not 5 minutes worth of work at all, is it? It's a lot of work, loads and loads and loads of work. So okay, cool, I'll keep cracking on. One A-pillar. doorposts off. Took me a little while in all fairness, because you know, I'm taking my time where I can, trying not to make a massive ass up. I've got a lot to learn here. I can see that this is going to be a pretty, you know, this is a pretty in-depth process, isn't it, really? Probably for somebody with a bit more experience than me, but I'm trying to gather the experience as I'm going along, and hopefully we'll be able to do a decent job. But I'll show you where I'm up to now. I've got this door pillar off. That's just the inner. I'm just sort of like, you know, getting an idea where it goes. I've got like the new panels here as well. They ain't a great fit in all fairness. I presume there's a fair bit of activation that has to go into doing these, because these don't they don't even fit in their own panels here. Like that there is, it doesn't even fit in there, so the holes line up properly. So I presume I'm going to have to get the hanger boshing it with the hammer and dolly and what have you, to get some shape into it. I have seen sides, complete sides, with all the sill and post in one. I'm half tempted to maybe get one, have a look at them, I don't know, just to try and speed things up a little bit. Well, that's where we're up to. I'll continue on with a bit more, so I can just get an idea of how everything's going to go. I just want to try and get this, I'm going to focus on the side really, try and get the side sorted out, and then move on from there. Right then, quick update. Been hard at it. It's coming on. I mean, you know, obviously I'm learning a lot of this as I'm going along, as I've said before. And it is a massive learning curve. You know, really, I suppose you need years worth of experience to be doing this properly, don't you? But I ain't got time to get years worth of experience. This has got to happen now for me, and I want to do it myself. I don't want to be bringing other people into the equation. I want to be able to do it myself. That's the main thing. So, quick little show where we're up to. So, right. I have been playing with the plasma cutter, and I've started to cut a little bit out on the floor pan bit side of things, just to get a feel for the plasma cutter more than anything, on a bit of the steel. That's not really important. I've started to weld these braces in. Obviously I'm going to pull the floor pan off on the inside, so I plan on leaving the this bit of the sill in place here to give me a bit of a line for when the floor pan goes back in. I'm going to brace this bracing a bit more thoroughly now, just to, I mean, I think I'm only going to cut, I think I'm going to leave the tunnel in place rather than taking the whole floor out. I think I'm going to be better off just working with this side, removing this side out of the floor pan, try and leave the tunnel in place, and work something to that and see how that looks once I've got hold of the floor pan. It's pretty daunting, isn't it, when you're doing these things, if you're not doing them day in, day out. I suppose you can look at it and think, bitten off a bit more than I can chew it, but we'll keep at it. Okay, I'm going to crack on. That's the cross bracing. I'm just trying to weld everything together. Anything I do, I'm trying to do square. I've got a bit of an obsession now about square. Hopefully that'll make everything a little bit more dependable. And take some measurements as well, and they should be fairly symmetrical side to side, which will be important when I come to putting things back together. So I'll try and brace it now, I think. Probably across here now, I think. Come across here and then go across there. And I would imagine that'll probably be sufficient to do what I need to do then, I would think. Maybe something down the middle perhaps, go between the struts. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea, would it? Across the bulkhead, back of the bulkhead there. Put another bar down the middle then, a bit more strengthening. Keep at it. So what I am finding is doing a lot of this stuff on your own is incredibly difficult as well. You need like 2 sets of arms sometimes. But we'll keep trying. But I figure the only way to learn is to keep doing it until you get good at it. Well, hopefully good at it. I read as well that the TIG weld is easier to work and bend and grind and stuff, so it's more time consuming. But I have an issue with rushing things a lot of the time anyway, so it's no bad thing because it sort of slows me down, otherwise I'm like a bull in a china shop. Right then, quick look as where we're up to. Just added these couple of brackets underneath with these adjustable feet on, just to support the chassis rails. I just feel like that'd be a wise idea. So that'll allow us to cut the floor out and potentially the centre of the chassis rail out. I think it should be supported reasonably well down the front here. Might have to look at something down the back there. I think this frame inside's about complete. I mean, I might have to add some other bits. If anybody has any opinion on that, I'd like to hear the comments. Hopefully this should hold it all decent. I'll do a bit more. A lot of progress today. I've successfully cut quite a bit of it out, so it's looking a little less like an Escort, a bit more like a pile of scrap. Yeah, I'll have a look. So obviously it's been quite difficult because there's sort of like multiple layers of floor and skid pan and stuff, so yeah, that's been pretty tricky, but I've managed to get the lion's share of it out. So now I've got to obviously finish tidying up, removing this section of the floor, get the new floor and have a little look at what sort of line down this tunnel I'm going to need to follow. Work out what to do with this chassis leg as well, because I think I plan on replacing this chassis leg. I think there's a bit of a join in there somewhere, so I reckon replace the chassis leg from there, or the chassis rail down to where it joins down the back, which I think is about there. Just because I fairly certain it's bent anyway. I think I'd like to renew that bit. Yeah, it's been an absolute nightmare so far, I'll be honest. It's a nightmare. It's a lot of work, this sort of stuff is, so hats off to anybody who's doing this day in, day out. Well, I'll be doing it day in, day out, because I'm going to have to, otherwise this will never get done. But yeah, it's hard work. I don't know why whoever's worked on it previously and has seam sealed all the welds inside the car that they've done. So this seam sealer crap, it's just making a massive mess. It's super dusty to sand off. I'm using the wire wheel on the grinder and it's a bloody nightmare. It's everywhere. I'll be glad to see the back of that. Now I've got these other tubs and that to put in for these wheel arch bits on the back, so I've been trying to clean all the seam sealer off there, get all that out. Yeah, it's been a fair learning curve today. But I think we're making progress, which is the main thing. I don't know how much of it to cut out on this side before I start putting bits back in it. I feel like taking the bulkhead and the front flitches and what have you out, and the front panel out of the way, just to try and get rid of some of the crap I'm not going to use really. I'll just focus on building it up then. Whether I'm going about this the right way or not remains to be seen, but hopefully it'll turn out good when I've finished. So there we go, awesome. So I hope you're liking my videos, putting a lot of effort into them for everybody. Just, it's interesting to do the video, and as well as it's interesting to do all the work, and I like putting it on the old YouTube there. My little lad, oh, it's the missus. So I hope you're liking my videos. I think that brings this one to an end. I think there's enough in this one now, and I'll work on another one. I'm getting quite big chunks done now, so I imagine there'll be a variety of things cropping up. So if you're looking to see what sort of size cock up we're making, you need to keep watching my videos. Alright, thanks very much. Hope you've got a great New Year, Christmas, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.